I'm Jody Barney. I'm an application developer with Codence, and I'm here to share with you an introductory course that is about data tables. And we're going to look at a few things in data tables, including how to get started and implement it into your FileMaker solutions, and use this tool as a way to learn. So here we go. Let's get started. So what is data tables? If you haven't heard of it, go to datatables.net. It's a great resource for figuring out how to add certain things as you go through, but it also has lots of examples of what to do with it. This example on the screen kind of shows what the data structure is that you need for data tables, and it's very Excel-like. Think like this. It's got columns that we can give to it. It's got rows of data. And then a little bit differently is that it has some of these light blue called DOM elements, what basically allow us to do native search features, pagination, more web-based tooling that we can use to navigate within this. So it's kind of a mix of Excel and web. It's an HTML table that we actually embed into FileMaker solutions in a web viewer. The best thing about some of this stuff is natively out of the box, it comes with pagination, ordering, and searching. So things that we don't actually have to program for. So let's take another look at why you might want to use data tables. So I've kind of broken this down a little bit into three different things that you can use. You can do things better with FileMaker than you can do in FileMaker. We can also do things that we can't even do in FileMaker. So to help us out to get our clients' needs. And then again, some things that we can think about how to do them differently and kind of progress more into different integrations that we can do outside of FileMaker. So here's a couple of examples of things that we can do differently. I do want to point out that on our blog series, you can watch the mini videos for any of these with filtering, dynamic sorting, all of these things. You can get a little bit more in depth on what those mean. But just to give you an idea, filtering is just the native searching, right? So without having to build anything special in FileMaker, you can out of the box just do a search on what you're finding, and the user gets immediate response to that. So as long as it's in your data set, you can find it. Dynamic sorting, same thing. Multi-column sorting, allowing users just to look at this information and do what they need without having developer involvement. Dynamic width, because this is an HTML web-based widget, as long as it's in our web viewer, it expands as within your the range that you set up in FileMaker. So it's nice that it can natively move back and forth, and we don't have to do a lot of column anchoring. And then, of course, chart integration is a nice feature that we can do charting in FileMaker, but this is a little bit better. So things that we really can't do in FileMaker, or at least we can't do them easy, we can drag and drop reorder. So we can move columns and rows around intuitively, so let the user have control of that. We can do things like row grouping, which is similar to sub-summary reporting, but it's super easy just by adding an extension to our data tables, which we'll go over in a future episode. And we have things that are called like child rows, where the user can expand and collapse. So really cool native features that we can add to our data tables as we progress and learn a little bit more. And of course, there's some features like data rendering. We can do that in FileMaker through some conditional formattings, but this kind of features like this, once you learn this, you can really add a lot of impact to your displays and your lists and your reports and portals, or whatever you want to use this for in FileMaker. And then some things that we can do differently. Just think about this. Like, we live in the world of APIs right now. There's a lot of data being transferred in the JSON format. And so let's say you get an example of some data coming from an API and you want to know, well, what's in here? What can I do with it? You can easily throw it in this tool and display what's in the data and decide, hey, this is now how I want to interact or make a report or loop through it. So it's a preview of what you can look at it. You can easily design on the fly. A customer might say, hey, I want to change something like this. Super simple to make these kinds of changes that don't have any involvement with layout redesign. And then another fun feature that you can do is exporting without the effort, really. So we can take whatever you see on the screen, and by adding a couple extensions to your data tables, you can export it to Excel. They can CSV, copy it, and even PDF. So it's a couple different features you can use with that. And again, we'll look at some of these things in a future episode. So now you know why you might want to use data tables. There's lots of other reasons. Go check out their site. But what we're going to do next is look at the demo file that's going to start coming along with each build, and an overview of the tool I built called DataTables Builder.